Once upon a time, there was a man named Isaac Newton. Hi there, Isaac. How are you going? And one day, while he was walking in an orchard, an apple fell on his head. After the apple fell on his head, he was led to experiment on gravity. And after many experiments, he came up with this theory.
First of all, what is gravity? Gravity is the attractive force that exists between all objects which have mass. This here is the law of universal gravitation. This represents the force of gravity generated by the two masses, mass 1 and mass 2, divided by the square of the distance between them. And mass 1 and mass 2 multiplied are also multiplied by the gravitational constant, which is represented by 6.67 times 10 to the power of negative 11 times Newton, 1 Newton times 1 meter squared times 1 kilo squared. Just this. So let's put that equation into action. Say we have one mass of 11 kilos and one of 15 kilos, and we're 1.2 meters apart. Well, we'd first of all would cancel out the units like that. Can be cancelled. And then we would have the equation of, and the answer to this is 7.6 times 10 to the power of negative 9, which newtons. Which is a pretty small force compared to the static friction exerted by the ground on which that would be. So next, let me give you an example. So here is a real world example of gravitation. Say you have a 1 kilo object, 1.2 meters of the Earth, and the Earth is 5.98 times 10 to the power of 24 kilos in mass. So first you add the two distances. Since the 1.2 meters is so small, we can't really add that to there. Then you put the two masses in, and then you do the calculation, which comes out to, after getting rid of the kilo symbol, and the distance symbols, the answer comes out at 9.8 newtons, which is where we get the equation. Whenever you're calculating gravity, you nearly always say it's accelerating at 9.28 meters per second. Newton's laws are all very well explaining how gravity works, but it doesn't explain why gravity will always behave like that. So currently there are two theories on it. Theory 1 is the exchange of gravitons, theoretical particle that they have to exchange between two objects within a certain period of time frame, which is what causes the squared part with the distance, and they can travel at the speed of light. And the other theory, which is more widely believed, is the bent time-space theory, where you've got a large mass and it bends the fabric of time and space, so that when another object comes along, it gets caught in that little dimple or whatever you call it, and start circling it or getting closer to it. And so now I'll give an example of what that means, a visual example. Here I'll give you an example of the bent time-space theory of gravity. If I push this BB bullet along, it doesn't turn very much, it goes in a straight line. If I put this here, when I push the BB bullet on, it circles it and it goes straight towards the mass. That is the bent time-space theory of gravity. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed that explanation on gravity.